Imagine in the depths of an ancient ocean where colossal creatures lurked in the shadows, hunting in a world where humans were not even existing yet. What terrifying beasts once roamed the waters, and what secrets lie beneath the waves? Join us as we journey back in time to uncover the most fearsome monsters of the prehistoric seas that will send chills down your spine. Millions of years ago, in the ancient seas, there existed some of the most fascinating and fearsome creatures of the depths. Some may find them interesting, and others see them as straight up underwater nightmares. So today, in this video, we'll be talking about some of these particular specimens of the dinosaur age. So ladies and gents, grab your pen and paper and prepare to dive into this underwater adventure and be ready to take notes. Let's start with one of the cooler ones and my personal favorite, the Nautilus. Often referred to as a living fossil, they have been known to have survived over 500 million years, and weirdly, this fossil belongs to the cephalopod family, which includes the much more known animals like octopuses and squids. But unlike its relatives, the Nautilus has remained unchanged since its time with our good friend the dinosaurs. One of the more remarkable features of the Nautilus is its spiral shell, and its shell is divided into chambers which it uses to control its buoyancy, and it can move up and down water columns by just adjusting the gas and liquids within this said chamber. Remember when I said the Nautilus is a relative to octopuses and squids? As all of us know, one of the more distinct features of these two are its tentacles. Well, strangely enough, or I guess it's not that strange, the Nautilus also have tentacles, but unlike the other two, the Nautilus can have up to 50 to 90 tentacles depending on its sex and individual. They use these tentacles to hunt food and capture its prey, as it's equipped with tiny sticky structures that helps it latch onto its target, which mainly consists of small fish and crustaceans. Though they may be seen as a floating shell, these ancient Nautilus, known as nautiloids, or I have no idea how to pronounce it, nautiloids, that's the best of my ability, once dominated the seas. These ancient creatures have a variety of shapes, and through time and for survival, their structures have changed and now transitioned into the coil-shaped design, as it has been proven to be the most efficient, which results into the Nautilus we know today. But despite its ancient lineage, the Nautilus is facing modern threats due to overfishing and the destruction of their habitat, which have led to the decline of its population. Though it may be another animal on the vast ocean, the Nautilus is a testament of its resilience on Earth, as they have survived throughout the years, facing events that have caused many extinctions. Their resilience to hold on to life shined like a blinding light in the darkest of times. Now, let's talk about the creatures that are hunting these mollusks. There was an ancient predator that has a bite force so powerful it's capable of crushing our friend the ancient Nautilus. Meet the Dunolous, an ancient predator that have been known as one of the most formidable creatures to rule the seas. The Dunolous existed around 360 million years ago during the Devonian period, albeit its appearance having that of a body structure similar to a humble goldfish. This giant can grow up to 26 feet long. Not only that, it had a unique armored plating that covered its head and thorax, and with its size, it basically has a tank-like appearance. Its skull was made of bony plates and basically lacked true teeth, but instead it has sharp and bony ridges that formed a beak-like structure. Now you're probably wondering what prey they were hunting on to have such a reputation of being an apex predator of the time. Well, they mostly prey on arthropods like our spiral friend, the Nautilus, and they also hunt sharks. Yes, you heard me right, sharks. They are one of the most terrifying ocean creatures in the modern era, which just makes the Dunolous even more scarier. And last but not least, other Dunolous, because you know what? Just throw in cannibalism at this point. They have territorial disputes, and some evidence suggests that they fight over these territories that may result in them killing each other. In addition, this secures them more resources and habitats while ensuring there will be less of a competition around them. While the Dunolous would extinct millions of years ago, their legacy lives on. In today's time, its fossils are displayed in museums around the world, fascinating the imagination of the public and scientists alike. Although the Dunolous may look quite different from today's sea creatures, it helps us understand the incredible diversity of life that existed millions of years ago. The study of these creatures like the Dunolous gives scientists insights into the evolution of sea creatures and the ecosystems of the past. Since the extinction of Dunolous millions of years ago, it has given a rise to new and more formidable predators. Entering the late stage Cretaceous era, or some of you may know it as the age of of the dinosaurs came one of the more formidable predators of its time. Say hello to the Mosasaurus. Now let's be honest, when you hear its name, you immediately think Jurassic World. But did you know that the Mosasaurus was actually more like a monitor lizard than most other dinosaurs? But even with that fact, you can't turn the blind eye to the fact that not only was it possibly the most visually intimidating creature that ever existed, but it was also the scariest predator during its time on this planet. Growing up to 56 feet long and up to 2 times the size of the Dunolous, its body was specifically designed to be a hunter. With a streamlined body, powerful flippers, and a muscular tail, despite its massive size, its body was actually designed to be very agile, and it has surprisingly fast speeds underwater. It has fully adapted to an aquatic lifestyle with flippers similar to that of a modern shark, with its jaws that was equipped with conical, slightly curved teeth, perfect for crushing and gripping slippery prey. Also has a double hinged jaw, allowing it to basically swallow large prey whole. Now, with all the tools in its arsenal, what kind of creatures were they actually preying on? Well, their diet consists of a variety of fishes in general, also including sharks, squid, and sometimes the occasional seabird if they see them diving for prey. Also, other reptiles like turtles or even its own kind are not safe from this monster. God, these giant predators love cannibalism, don't they? By the way, another fact about their cannibalism, due to the scarcity of their resources, territorial disputes happen often. If they see other smaller versions or injured of their kind, they take the opportunity to hunt them actually, because if they're gonna die, well, might as well eat them. But what they're doing, like cannibalism on their own kind, is actually helping the ecosystem, since having too many large predators can kind of, remove like the majority of sea life in an area.
Warning, entering ecological dead zone.
It kind of balances it out because, the more rarer these big predators are, the more fishes that will thrive. In recent years, the Mosasaurus gained fame and recognition throughout the media, especially renowned for their appearance at the movie Jurassic World. When the Mosasaurus was first discovered around the 18th century, Maastricht, somewhere in Netherlands, initially they were first thought to belong to a family of crocodile or whales. But then a naturalist, George Cuvier identified them to belong to a giant marine lizard. Its discovery was actually revolutionary at its time, since it proves early evidence for the concept of extinction, challenging the belief that all animals that had existed remained unchanged since its creation. Despite its fearsome reign, the Mosasaurus, like many prehistoric creatures, vanished in the mass extinction event that ended the age of the dinosaurs. But thanks to its fossil remains and the people who have studied this creature, we can still marvel at this ancient ruler of the seas. What if I told you the ocean wasn't always ruled by whales, sharks, and octopuses? What if beneath the waves millions of years ago, there lurked creatures so bizarre, so terrifying, that today's predators looks tame by comparison? Today, we're diving into the ancient seas to uncover the wildest deep sea creatures that you have never heard of. So buckle up, because what you're about to see might just make you think twice about going for a swim. Imagine a creature that looks like it's straight out of a fever dream. A tiny predator that ruled the oceans 500 million years ago. Meet the Opina. Oh my god, I can't pronounce some of these words. One of the weirdest creatures to ever exist. It's got 5 eyes. Yeah, 5 eyes. But wait, it gets wilder. This guy has what can only be described as a trunk sticking out of its face with a claw in the end. I mean, like, this is like the early game in like the ocean, but still, like, this is a fascinating build. Opina was only 3 inches long, but don't let that size fool you, because with its eyes, it gives it a 360-degree vision, and with its claw-tipped trunk, it was the ultimate predator of its time. Picture it, it's snatching up tiny sea creatures and dragging them straight into its mouth, hidden beneath its body. But here's the thing, Opina wasn't just a weird-looking creature. It was part of a major evolutionary event, a turning point when life on Earth was experimenting with all kinds of bizarre designs. And while it may look like an alien from your worst nightmares, it shows just how far nature will go to create the perfect predator. Now, you think modern sharks are scary? Let me introduce you to the Helicoprion, a prehistoric shark that didn't just have regular rows of teeth. Oh no, It had a whirl of teeth, like a circular saw inside its lower jaw. Yeah, you heard that right. A shark with a buzz saw for a jaw. The thing is, they lived around 290 million years ago, and with a set of razor-sharp teeth that spun in a spiral, it would slice through prey like squid and other soft-bodied creatures with terrifying precision. The Helicoprion wasn't the biggest shark in the ocean, around 20 feet long, but that buzzsaw made it one of the most deadly. And for decades, scientists didn't even know what to make about the Helicoprion. Where would the tooth whirl would fit, the upper jaw, lower jaw? Was it a decoration or was it actually meant for hunting? Well, after years of debate, we now know that it's actually part of the lower jaw, slicing up prey like a prehistoric blender. You've seen sharks with teeth, but the Helicoprion takes it to another level. And just imagine if you saw one of these spinning tooth predators swimming towards you. You know what? Just blow up the ocean at that point. If you thought modern sperm whales was just deep diving squid hunters, think again, because the oh god, what is that name? A giant sperm whale from 10 million years ago didn't just hunt squid. Nope, it hunted other whales. Imagine a creature that can grow up to 57 feet long with conical teeth the size of your forearm. Leviathan, I think that's how you pronounce it. Leviathan's jaw was made to rip large prey, making it the apex predator of the Miocene seas. Think of an orca with steroid, but way bigger and more terrifying because it's a sperm whale, for God's sake. But what makes Leviathan even more terrifying is its shared oceans with the Megalodon. Yes, they both lived at the same time and they could have been possibly hunting the same prey. Maybe that's why they both went extinct, those two dumb brutes. And while we can only speculate, can you imagine a showdown between a whale the size of a semi-truck and a shark the size of a bus? Though Leviathan is long gone, its fossil tells a tale of a sea where giants may have fought for supremacy. Modern sperm whales may seem tame in comparison to these prehistoric monsters, but Leviathan proves that once upon a time, the ocean was home to creatures that made even today's predators look small. From the five-eyed Opina to the buzzsaw jaw of Helicoprion and the whale-hunting Leviathan, the ancient oceans were filled with creatures more terrifying than anything we've seen today. These prehistoric monsters may be gone, but their fossils remind us of how wild and unpredictable life on Earth can be. The ocean is already a mysterious place, but what if I told you that it used to be a home to creatures so terrifying they'd make today's sharks look like goldfish? From bone-crushing jaws to bizarre features you wouldn't believe. We're about to dive into the world of the ancient sea monsters that once ruled the oceans. So anyways, let's begin. Our first ancient terror takes us back to the Jurassic period, where a 30-foot long predator stalked the ocean. Meet the Leopleurodon. Oh my god. With jaws strong enough to crush bones and teeth the size of knives, this beast was no gentle giant. It dominated the ocean waters, preying upon anything it wanted with its massive streamlined body built for speed and power. The Leopleurodon's ambush hunting style made it especially dangerous. Imagine this colossal creature hiding in the shadows, waiting to strike its prey with lightning speed. Even smaller marine reptiles were no match for this super predator. But don't get too comfortable yet. If you think Leopleurodon was terrifying, wait till you meet our next predator. A shark that didn't even hunt in the ocean, but in fresh water. Let's check out something even more unusual. You've heard of sharks dominating the ocean seas, but how about a shark that thrived in ancient swamps and rivers? Orthocanthus, a freshwater predator from over 250 million years ago. This eel-like shark had a long, slender body that could reach up to 10 feet in length. Its unique design allowed it to slither through the dense vegetation of ancient swamps, snatching up prey like a snake in water. But here's where it gets weird. Orthocanthus had two-pronged forked teeth that made it perfect for grabbing slithery amphibians and fish. These sharks weren't just strange looking, they were highly effective predators. And while Leopleurodon ruled the Jurassic seas, Orthocanthus dominated the ancient oceans, proving no ecosystem was safe from terrifying predators. But if you think Orthocanthus was bizarre, you haven't seen anything yet. Our next creature took strange to a whole new level. Let's dive even further to meet the prehistoric sea scorpion that makes nightmares look tame. Now let's go back over 400 million years ago to the time of the Pterygotus, a giant sea scorpion scorpion that can grow up to 9 feet long. Yeah, you heard me right. 9 feet of armored clawed terror. Unlike anything we have today, Pterygotus was the top predator of its era, ruling the shallow seas and rivers with its massive claws and flat paddle-like tail that allows it to move through water with surprising agility. Its long spiked claws were designed to crush fish and other small sea creatures, making Pterygotus a deadly ambush predator. Imagine swimming in the ancient waters and getting snatched up by this creature that looks like a scorpion, but it's the size of a crocodile. Though it's long extinct, Pterygotus' fossilized remains reminds us of how terrifying life used to be in the ancient oceans. And while today's oceans have their fair share of predators, they've got nothing on what came before them. From the bone-crushing jaws of the Leopleurodon to the snake-like slither of the Orthorhynchus to the giant claws of Pterygotus, it's clear that the ancient oceans were once home to creatures far more terrifying than anything we've seen today. If you think today's oceans are scary, just wait until you hear what used to swim in them. We're about to explore 3 of the most dangerous sea creatures that turned the ancient ocean waters into the ultimate death trap. These creatures weren't just weird, they were lethal. So grab onto something because let's dive straight into this video. To kick things off, let me tell you about something you wouldn't expect to find in the ocean. A giant sea scorpion. Meet Megalodon, an armored predator that lived over 460 million years ago. At around 3 feet long, this deep sea scorpion might not sound too intimidating until you see its spiked and graspy claws. With its spiny limbs, Megalodon snatched up smaller fish and grabbed them into its crushing mouth. Its body was built for stealth and power, covered in segmented armor that makes it tough for other predators to take it down. This was an ambush predator, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But as deadly as Megalodon was, it wasn't the biggest thing lurking in the waters. Next, we're gonna be talking about the whale that wasn't just big, it was vicious. Next up on the list is Basilosaurus, an ancient whale that roamed the deep seas around 40 billion years ago. But here's the catch, it wasn't the typical peaceful whale. The Basilosaurus was a carnivorous predator with a long eel-like body that could reach up to 60 feet in length. This was no gentle giant. The Basilosaurus was a hunter, preying on anything smaller than itself, including sharks, fish, and even other marine animals. With its sharp pointy teeth and sleek body, the Basilosaurus was built for speed, giving it the ability to chase down and devour its prey. This creature ruled the oceans long before killer whales or great white sharks, making it one of the top predators of its time. But if you think Basilosaurus was terrifying, you haven't seen our final sea monster. Finally, we're going back over 470 million years ago to meet the Camarasaurus, a colossal cephalopod and an ancestor to today's squids and octopuses. But here's the thing, this creature wasn't just big, it was massive. Imagine a squid with a long straight shell that could reach up to 30 feet in length. Yeah, Camarasaurus used its long graspy tentacles to pull its prey, which it would then crush with its powerful beak. It was the largest predator of its time, ruling the oceans and feeding on smaller marine creatures like trilobites and early fish. Its size alone was enough to make it a terrifying sight for anything unfortunate enough to swim by it. Though the Camarasaurus went extinct millions of years ago, its fossil reminds us that the oceans was the home of creatures that defied imagination. And while today's cephalopods might be clever and cute in some aspects, they don't come close to their sheer size and power of their ancient ancestors. From the spiked claws of the Megalodon to the carnivorous reign of the Basilosaurus to the monstrous size of the Camarasaurus, these creatures show that the ancient oceans were the home of predators far more terrifying than P. Diddy. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one. Peace.